right. Are you ready, Sarah? We
I
have Blue
am
Moon
ready.
Industries up next, so your team take it away.
Cool. Well, hi everyone. I am Sarah Orndorff. I am a senior systems consultant with Blue Moon. So just a little bit about us. We are an ISV, obviously. We have been in the ISV space for over 30 years. So we started with way back in the day, Dynamics GP, and we've extended our ISV solutions into the Microsoft stack as well as Acumatica. So one of our niches that really we have both expertise strength and software solution strength is in the distribution and warehouse management space. So today we're going to take a look at our warehouse management integration product. It is, I know it's a really snappy, snappy name, but with Acumatica and with ERPs, you may have customers that are currently running a distribution solution, a warehouse management solution, and maybe looking to migrate the ERP, but they are happy with their WMS. So what we've done is we've created an integration between Acumatica and multiple WMS systems. We're always adding more so that your back office can stay in Acumatica, but your customers can keep their existing WMS, or perhaps they are in Acumatica. They're looking for warehouse functionality, but perhaps they have more complex requirements than the Acumatica distribution solution offers. We make it very easy for them to be able to select a product, select a WMS, a distribution solution that fits their business, but seamlessly integrates all of those inventory, sales orders, and purchasing business processes. So, as you can see on the slide, right, with when you're talking about WMS, really that becomes your source of truth for all of your inventory and your sales, your receiving. So, what we're going to look through today are the areas where the integration will seamlessly create transactions in Acumatica, update quantities, really just provide all of the transaction detail that's happening in the WMS right back into your Acumatica system. So we're just taking a look at, and these are all, we are integrated with native Acumatica screens. So here we're looking at our inventory adjustment. So within an inventory adjustment, all of the, the increases or decreases, or perhaps they're scrapping product in the WMS, everything that happens in the WMS is going to create the adjustment right back in Acumatica. So you can see here, this is just an Acumatica adjustment, but it's been created from the activity that's in your WMS. And so your quantities will come from the WMS, the unit costs will come from your Acumatica system, but it's going to enable your Acumatica users to have that real-time inventory view. And when you perhaps streamlining that order process, right? So do you have quantities on hand to sell? So all of the activity in the WMS from the adjustment perspective will create your adjustment transaction here. You can see that this one is not released. We do have the ability, and you do have the option to do an auto release. So you never have to come in and post your adjustments, post your transfers. There we go. Or post your transfers, right? You can configure the solution at the document type level or at the transaction type to auto release when those adjustments or transfers are created from the WMS in Acumatica. So you can see here, we do support the transfer from warehouse to warehouse. So it's also configurable on how you want to map your WMS to Acumatica, if you want to map it with zones, if you want to map it from warehouse to warehouse. All of that is available in the setup. But here you can see the transfer. Again, release is available here, but you do have the option to auto release when the transactions are created. So you can see here that it has been transferred from one source to another, from one location to another location. And now perhaps that inventory was coming from a QA location, which is not available to sell out of, but now we've put it into perhaps a sellable location. So again, It is automatically creating these transactions. So your inventory is real time from all of the activity in your warehouse. From a purchasing perspective, any purchase orders that are created in Acumatica, again, it is configurable if you want to auto release, but you are creating those purchase orders within Acumatica because you've got things like your discounts, all your information about the vendor. That's all ERP data. However, we want the receivers on the dock to be able to have the access to purchase orders for when those boxes or pallets show up at the dock door. So releasing to the WMS just means that those POs are going to be sitting in the WMS waiting for, again, the goods to show up at the dock door. When they do come in, your warehouse folks will go through their process. They're not having to be in Acumatica. They're going through their receiving process. And when the receipts come back in, it creates that receipt within Acumatica. So they've got their handhelds, or perhaps they're using scanners, whatever warehouse technology, warehouse management technology they're using. When that receipt comes in and they confirm the receipt, then it will come up, it will create the receipt, it will match it to the purchase order that has shown up in the distribution center, and then it will automatically update the quantities received based on what that receiver is populating in the WMS. Again, these can be auto released. So again, you don't have to worry about someone coming in and posting all of these transactions. And it is real time, again, when those receipts show up at the dock door. From a sales perspective, from the outbound perspective, this is I think, for me, I've been in the distribution space for 20 years, and it's funny because I'm only 19. So with the sales order, this is really where the deepest integration is, and really it is your customer service, right? So you've got your salespeople or customer service people, they're creating their sales orders within Acumatica, where they have all of their pricing, all of that good ERP functionality. And then it goes down, we'll say, or it gets released to the warehouse so that they can put it on the warehouse floor and start picking and packing and shipping that transaction. So all of this is available. This is straight Acumatica functionality. It is mapped to the WMS so that you've got information like um, uh, shipping instructions, address information, all of that good stuff. So once it goes to the warehouse picks it up, they put it to the floor, pick, pack, and ship. And then once it's shipped and it's confirmed shipped in the WMS, the integration will create that shipment document in Acumatica. So it's confirmed, I can sit just in Acumatica if I'm a salesperson or a back office person, and I can see what has been shipped, the quantities. I can see any lot or serial information. I can also see from a packages standpoint, it is fully integrated there. So perhaps you're shipping multiple pallets. So you've got different shipping documentation associated maybe with each pallet. All of that good, rich data is written back to Acumatica. So, I'm a salesperson. I don't have to call to the warehouse manager or anyone in the warehouse to get information about my shipments. It's all created right here in Acumatica, ready to have the invoice created right from the shipment. Just a really quick look at it's very easy to configure, right? You would work with your warehouse management partner, or it's perhaps the IT person, right, at your customer's location, to get the API keys for your WMS. And again, we support multiple WMSs. If there's one that we don't yet support, it is very easy for us to add them because it truly is just the transactions are integrated via APIs. Down here is really the warehouses that I'm looking to manage. So perhaps I have a site that is not integrated. I can do it right at the warehouse, right at the warehouse level. And then this is just a processing log. So this is really, if anyone really wants to come in and see what transactions were successful, if something wasn't successful, typically that's usually if there's an issue with a data point. but you can dig in here and you can see, oh, this purchase order came in. I can go take a look at it. This processing log is typically very useful at right after you would go live and integrate the solutions. After that, it's really just available for your customer to see what transactions are happening between the systems. But typically, again, it's helpful right at a go live. But after that, people tend to forget about the log. So that I know it was quick. I know we did screenshots because really all of the transactions and all of the functionality is happening in your WMS. We're just making it so that all of that WMS activity is automatically creating your Acumatica transactions, keeping your inventory updated in Acumatica, as well as having Acumatica manage your purchase receiving and your sales orders into the WMS waiting to be shipped or received. So if you need more information, please reach out to us. This is a quick 15-minute little taste of what we provide, but we can certainly, we'd love to get on a call, see what prospects you have that may need this functionality, and see how we can help.
Thanks so much, Sarah. I
Thank
love that you
you.
connect to any warehouse, so that makes it easy.
Yeah, it is. And typically if you have a customer that maybe is migrating from an existing ERP to Acumatica, but biting off an ERP and a WMS implementation, perhaps they want to migrate their ERP for that rich accounting functionality that Acumatica has, but they're happy with their WMS. Now you can offer that Acumatica as a solution while they can continue to use a WMS that perhaps is highly customized, or they may have some change management issues with their DC folks. Not that that ever happens. Everyone loves change, especially systems. So it really does open up for your prospects. It opens up more functionality, but also it allows them to continue to use solutions that they're used to using.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Cool.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.